button too gently. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We had a very, very, very long week this week. Very long week. I'm looking at almost everybody could compete about who had the longer week out of it. And we started religious school on Sunday, which was wonderful, but exhausting. And we buried Carol Ginsberg, which was sad and exhausting. And I wanted to share with you some things about today before we begin. So you may know, because maybe you get an email like this too, but I get an email about what today is on the calendar. So I was told that today is Sponge Cake Day. Did you know that? Which is not the part I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if we're going to have sponge cakes or not, so the suspense is killing me. But it's called Ride the Wind Day. Ride the Wind Day. Today is August 23rd. It's Friday, and it's Ride the Wind Day. And it's always August 23rd. And it says, so I have two ways of describing it. For one is, I think that the reason why it came to be is because, or they'll call it either Ride the Wind or Ride Like the Wind. Now, hopefully some of you have a song stuck in your head right now about Ride Like the Wind. Do, 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 do. Anyway, I'm going to give you another song to think about later. It's a day to ride like the wind, if you can. It commemorates the first time that the Creamer Prize was awarded in 1977. It's spelled K-R-E-M-E-R. I don't know if it's spelled Creamer or Kramer, but it was awarded in 1977. The prize is awarded to people who pioneer human-powered flight. Have you ever flown by human power? I've fallen down with human power. That's what I like to hear. I don't think I have ever flown with human power. I haven't even, not even like a parachute-y kind of thing. I didn't do that. It tells us that human-powered flights are aircraft that use human muscle power to run. Due to technological issues, they're unable to fly for long distances or for a considerable amount of time. Human-powered flights are usually flown for experimental and recreational purposes. The first authentic human-powered flight was successful in taking off and flying for a significant distance. Happened, what year do you think that happened? How long do you think we've had human-powered flights that we have been acknowledging, documenting? So we have a 16-something, you said? You mean Icarus, kind of? No, I don't think that was. No, that wasn't human-powered, though. They had, it wasn't just pedal. So Superman, that's a better answer. This one claims that a man named Derek Pigott, P-I-G-G-O-T-T, a glider pilot in the British Royal Air Force, flew Southampton University's man-powered aircraft on November 9th, 1961, for about 600 meters, 1961. But I have another trivia thing for you. There was a woman named Jacqueline Cochran, C-O-C-H-R-A-N, was the first woman to break the sound barrier. That was May 18th, 1953. So it was a big decade. Nope. She didn't do it. That wasn't a human-powered one. Remember, we had 1961 was the human-powered, and 1953 was the sound barrier one. So it tells me, and you know how much I love language things, it says that Ride Like the Wind Day is a play on the English language phrase run like the wind, which means to run very fast. You knew that one. This isn't the trick. It's sometimes used in the context of running away from someone or something. So the 1980 song, Ride Like the Wind, by American singer, songwriter Christopher Cross, recounts the story of, you remember? We just know do, 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 do. All right. I'll tell you later what it was. I don't want to talk about that online. It's not that bad, but I don't want to talk about it. It also is sometimes used to refer to the act of doing things without a purpose. Just like the wind can change direction at any time, someone riding like the wind can change the course of their lives without any warning and do things without rhyme or reason. I think that this is kind of a little bit what Shabbat is like, so I was very glad to see that that's what today is. And the email that inspired it, that was something that I discovered, but the email that I inspired it was way more poetic. And it says that it's a carefree day to soar above the earth. You can catch a ride with the breeze or float along slowly like a gentle late summer cloud. I hope you're trying to experience this while I'm saying it, because I'm trying to get you into the mood for Shabbat while I'm doing this. Now comes the bummer. Summer will soon be over. But catching the drift of this day is easy. Those are the jokes. Just relax and let the wind carry you away in whatever direction it's blowing. Leave your troubles and worries behind for a spell as you waft in the air. Here are some great ways to enjoy Ride the Wind Day. Can you think of any ways to enjoy it? It's too late, but could you think of any ways you could have enjoyed it? It doesn't only include flying in the air. It could be a kite or a parachute or a hang glide, but it could even be like a motorcycle ride or a sailboat ride or something. But kick back and enjoy and be like a floating thing. So I appreciated that because it's a lot like how I feel about Shabbat. I like a glide, like a floating in the wind kind of a day. And I don't know if you noticed, clouds have been doing some amazing things lately. And I think about floating like a cloud in the wind. But while I was looking at what today was, I wanted to also share with you that yesterday, and I missed it, kind of, was Be an Angel Day. You're supposed to be an angel, be to someone by being nice to them and doing random acts of kindness. Did you do that yesterday, even though you weren't told? I bet you did. I bet you did. I did. So the thing about angels is we're about to welcome the Shabbat angels, so I thought that was appropriate. And tomorrow, well, so the 25th, which is Sunday, is Kiss and Make Up Day. So we're getting ready for the High Holy Days, so it's a good time to start getting ready to apologize for the people, because the High Holy Days is about apologizing to God. So the 25th, you can start by kissing and making up. That's good. But tomorrow is a day that will go on in infamy. I don't like tomorrow. This is something devastating happened in 2006. It's Pluto demoted day. Pluto was demoted from a full-size planet to a dwarf planet. It wasn't demoted from one size to another. They pretend, I'm just so mad. It makes me very sad, you know? The things that you learned when you were growing up and they take them away from you. I really liked Pluto as a planet. I still like Pluto as a planet. What? It's back in? On my watch it is. Is it back in? How many people say it's back in? I would vote for it to be back in. Yes. Okay. And if it's not, I don't, what? Did they? Nice. Fly like the wind, da, 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 da. And treated each other like angels. What were they thinking, demoting it? It's just not right. So I just thought I'd share that with you because I think some of these things are very sweet, and because I really like the idea of flying, running like the wind, and floating. Shabbat is a really good float kind of a holiday, don't you think? If you ever thought about it as a floating kind of a holiday. So we are going to begin our service, as you can imagine, floating our way to page, well, first we have to take deep breaths and blow the clouds around. Ready? Take a deep breath in and blow the clouds away. Gently, gently. Try again. And blow it away. I told you a few weeks ago, if not everybody was here, that I saw a video where Mayim Bialik was talking about teaching her children how to take deep breaths so that they relax. And she said it's like when you eat soup. First you smell the soup, and then you blow on it. You could do that. It would calm you down. We're going to turn to page 82. And everyone here is going to be honored by being the mother and father of the house, or the I don't know, ballabusters. That's what we are. Page 82, please rise. Does anybody want to help me do this? Anybody? I was thinking, Leon, you want to help? Thank you. I didn't mean to pick on you. But I really wanted you standing here today. Let me turn this on so that I can hear you too, potentially. I need somebody else to help me on the reading. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thanks. It's on. You're going to talk to it. You want to take the first paragraph? No, everybody read together. Go. These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. I feel inspired. And this is how I do this. We have to pretend that those candles are regular candles, but as soon as we finish saying the blessing, they turn into poof, Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Look what you did. You did that. What? We continue then on pages 167 and 166. And you're going to uncover. You got it? Yep. Lift it. Go ahead. Just trust me on this one. Take that down. That's okay. I'll show you. And lift up your cup. And then we're going to sing this line here. That one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. And then we're going to do this whole thing in English here. We'll say it together. You got it? We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. Amen.
We praise you,
Eternal God, sovereign of the universe.
You call us to holiness,
The mitzvah of Shabbat.
the sign of your love.
And of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. L'chaim. Drink. It's only powerful wine if you think it is. Because it's grape juice.
Dad, you're giving me the death look.
That's right. You are welcome to sit down. If you say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with, someone you didn't come in with, you could finish it if you want. It's delicious. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. It's good. Does it make you feel joyful? You feel floaty on the wind, kind of joyful? Ah. God calling. God, you're not supposed to call me on Shabbat. I told you to stop calling me on Shabbat. Oops, I forgot. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Just give us a minute. We'll be right back at you. Do you know the story about God's phone number? So there are very few people here today, so I'm going to skip some stuff so I can tell you some stories. Okay? So this is the story that it was kind of one of my proudest moments is that I was talking to the Camp Chai kids, and my job was supposed to be singing inspirational things with them and singing fun things with them and teaching them something. And whatever it was that they were doing that day, I was teaching them a blessing for the thing they were going to do. They were going to go blueberry picking or something. And I said, well, what's the blessing for whatever? Let's say, what's the blessing for wine? And one kid starts saying, Baruch atah Eloheinu, and he says starts saying the whole thing. I said, wait. You can't say the whole thing unless you've got a glass of wine in front of you. Well, what are you talking about? And I said, well, every time you say Baruch atah Adonai, it means praised are you Adonai. So let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God? And every little child said yes. Do you talk to God? And every child said yes. And I said, well, does God answer you, talk back? They looked around at each other first to confirm that they can say yes. And so I said, every time you say Baruch Atah Adonai, which means praised are you, Adonai, you are talking directly to God. So it's like God is saying, yes. And then you tell God why you're calling. You created the fruit of the vine. And God said, yeah, that was a good thing. I'm glad I did that. Are you enjoying the fruit of the vine? And then you don't have the fruit of the vine in front of you. So it's like you're making a prank call to God every time you say Baruch Atah Adonai, and you don't have the thing that you're blessing. What does it mean to take God's name in vain? What does it mean? Sometimes it means saying a blessing that you're not paying any attention. Because if you're not doing the thing you say, then it's like you saying, bring, hello, God. And God says, yes. And you're going, blah, 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 blah. And they thought that was great. And I was very proud of myself for saying that. But the next day, we had one child come up to me and say, what was God's phone number again? And at first I'm like, what are you talking? Oh yeah, I did that. I gave you God's phone number. You thought it was unlisted, but it's not. It's right here in our prayer book over and over and over again. So first we're going to go back to yesterday, and we're going to be like an angel day on page 84. We're going to, well, he was ready, look at him. We're going to welcome Shalom Aleichem, a peace be upon y'all, to the Malachei, to the angels on high. We're going to welcome the angels who accompany us on Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon. The Reader's Kaddish is supposed to be a transition time that takes you from the preliminary service that gets you in the mood for praying, and then the core of the service. This next section that's coming after the Reader's Kaddish is called the Shema and her blessings. But I'm wondering, Alex, would you come up and help me with this, please? We are on page 85. You got this. Yeah.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
Balma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehesh merabba mevarach la'alam ul'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'meru. Amen.
Go ahead, you are our reader. Go for it.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. going to continue. The next thing we think about is creation. Does Shabbat remind you of the creation story? Does it remind you that God worked for 6 days and rested, so now you have to work for 6 days and rest? I hope it reminds you of that. Page 87. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Vahed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Vahed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated unless you're in my bet class and you would like to come and help me. I would love to have you come help me lead this next part. So there's a tradition that only someone who is obligated to say the prayer is allowed to lead you in prayer. And that was why, and so that means you need to be an adult Jew in order to be able to lead some of the prayers, and you have to be a not so adult Jew, and then you're still allowed to lead some of the prayers. This is the kind that a not adult Jew can lead, and that's why I asked this group to come up. You can come, sneak around. Go ahead. Somebody start us? Tap shoes? Ready? ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. I'm going to set you away. You may be seated again, but don't stay seated for very long because I got to tell you something. I'll need you again. Go ahead. Go ahead. So the Torah portion that we're reading, studying tomorrow, includes a part that is called the second paragraph of the V'ahavta. And sometimes when people who are used to a more traditional service come here, they get very mad at us, mostly about the section that we have in our V'ahavta. Because we have 2 paragraphs in the V'ahavta, the prayer we just read. They sang 2 paragraphs. They chanted beautifully, by the way. But there's 2 in between, this one and this one, that in a traditional service they would do. The new prayer book that the Reform movement put out, Mishkan Tefillah, has those 2 extra paragraphs, but this one doesn't. And the one before this one didn't, and the one before that didn't in the Reform movement. So if you want to know what the paragraphs are that we left out, anybody know? If you want to know, so one of them, I'll give you a hint. One of them has to do with the tzitzit. That's one of the 4 paragraphs. It's in the middle there. But if you want to know what the other one is that we leave out in this book, then come tomorrow for Torah study. That's my first commercial for you for today. And we can try to figure out why the Reform movement thought it was a good idea to take it out. And why the Reform movement thinks it's a good idea to put it back in. It's kind of interesting stuff. And if you don't come to Torah study tomorrow, peek. The Torah portion is called Ekev. Peek at it. I'd like to read responsively with you on page 89, please. We're going to have this side read the non-italics, and this side read the italics. You're going to take that side, and I'll take this side. Ready? I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children.
They were louder than us. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people.
We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power.
You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else.
We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world.
Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream.
We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed.
You shall not oppress your neighbors, nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds.
We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace.
Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children.
We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth.
You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant, whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me.
We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you God, our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea.
So you know that this is the song that we sang when we got across the Sea of Reeds. And it was led in singing and musical instruments and things. So anybody who feels like getting up and dancing, get up and dance for this one. Go.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la ya la la, la 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 ya la la la. Yei chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh pele, nora tehilot oseh pele. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la, ya la la ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. This next prayer is a prayer that we say only in the evening. We tend to feel more vulnerable in the evening, and it's a prayer that we say at bedtime, and it's a prayer we say during the evening prayers. It's one where we pray that God is watching over us, no matter that we know we want to go to sleep, and we want to feel, you see where we are? Let's see, this one. Would you read this one for us, please?
May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. We give thanks for the night and its rest, and for the promise of peace for all the world.
Elliot, can you lead us in this next song? How are you at the Vishamru? Take it away. Put you on the spot. Go for it. We'll help.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos la'asos es ha-Shabbat לדורותיהם בריס עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל הוסי לעולם. Hosi leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos. Lasos es ha-Shabbos ledorosam beris olam. Ki sheshes yomim asa Adonai es ha-shamayim ve'es ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbat. Lasos es ha-Shabbos ledorosam beris olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shavas v'yinofas, Shavas v'yinofas,
Shavas v'yinafas, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos. Lasos es ha-Shabbos ledorosam beris olam. That was gorgeous. Thank you. You can turn off, push and turn off. We continue, so that's the end of the section that was called the Shema and her blessings. And now we go into the core of the service, which is called the Tefillah, which is page 93. It is sometimes called the Shmona Esrei, which means the 18 benedictions, and it's sometimes called the Amidah, the standing prayer. In some congregations, everybody does it silently to themselves, and then the leader repeats it. In some congregations, the leader and the congregation will do the first 3 prayers together, and then the rest silently. In our congregation, we do the whole thing together. So we turn to page 93 and we rise for the tefillah. The first prayer is a prayer that prays that we be able to pray. It's a very mystical thing to do. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. All right, we're going to take a vote. How many people want to keep going in Hebrew, and how many people want to keep going in English? Ready, Hebrew? English. Nobody voted for English? One person voted for English? Let's try this again. How many people want to continue in Hebrew? And how many people want to continue in English? Wow, that's amazing to me. Wow. All right, we're going to do both. Ready? Page 94, we'll read together in the English. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Keep from the faithless to those who sleep in the dust. That's at the top of page 94. Now we're going to do the Hebrew. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol ata, rav lehoshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, umatir asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מחמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. You are kadosh, your name is kadosh, and everyone who strives to be holy, who strives to be Kedoshim, declares your greatness day by day. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. We praise you, God. You are the holy God, and you may be seated. There's more. I like doing it in Hebrew too. Thank you for that. We continue at the top of page 96, though, because we did the rest of those things. We skipped through some, we did some. We read together, God, who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, source of life and its wonders. Be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness. You are compassion. We give thanks to you forever.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Ki ata hu melech hador lechol hashalom Ki ata hu melech hador lechol hashalom Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Tasim le'olam Tasim
Take a moment for silent prayer now, prayers that are in our hearts. You can choose what's at the bottom of 96 or make up your own words. May the words of my mouth. That wasn't my part. You're supposed to do that part. I'll do the Hebrew. Let me do the Hebrew next time. Yihiyu leratzon.
May the words of my mouth
Imre fi vehegyon libi.
and the meditations of my heart
Lefanecha.
be acceptable to you.
Lefanecha.
Acceptable to you.
Adonai Tzuri.
O God, my rock,
Tzuri v'goali.
my rock and my redeemer,
Adonai Tzuri
God, my rock,
v'goali. I thought I started higher, but it doesn't feel like it when you're rumbling the floor. Wow. We continue in the inside back cover as our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. I'm going to turn off the microphone for a moment. Have other names you'd like us to include in our prayers, I invite you to call them out. For all these names, for the names we choose to hold in our hearts and not say out loud, we pray together. Oh God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, a source of healing and health. We add, Misheberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us. In this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. So I hope you realize I did a few experiments today during services. One that was most intentional was the one about choosing different parts for people to say or sing, having you read parts that you don't normally read, having me listen in times when I normally am reading. Does the service feel different to you when you're reading different parts? Does the service feel different to you when you're hearing all the voices joining with you? As opposed to, let's say, one voice, let's say me and you and responsive, when you have half of the room doing and the other half. Does the service feel different when you're doing it in Hebrew? I had no idea that we were going to do the Ashkenazic version, and I loved that. Thank you, Elliot. That was wonderful. I know that you're a wonderful singer, but I had no idea we were going to do that, and I loved that. I think that sometimes these things give us different kinds of emotions. It reminds us of other things when we hear things, when we feel things, when the words hit us in different ways. What I wanted to talk about tonight is words and how they are used, how they're used for good, how they can sometimes be used for bad things. In the Torah portion, it's kind of we're in the middle of the book of Deuteronomy right now, and Deuteronomy is a really ironic kind of a book to me because Moses talks and doesn't stop talking the whole time. And the ironic part of that is, remember the guy at the burning bush who said, "Don't pick me because I don't talk very well"? here he is, we can't stop him. He repeats the whole story of what they did and what we did in the wilderness, and he is he just nonstop guy, just keeps talking and talking and talking. So in this Torah portion, it's one of the Torah portions where he reminds us about keeping God's commandments, and if we do, there will be blessings. And the blessings are awesome. And if we don't, then bad things could happen. And that always bothers me. And maybe I'm wrong, but I never felt that the best way to influence people is with threats or by saying bad things. I never thought that that was a good way to get someone to smile ever again or do what you ask. I never thought that that was a good way to do that. And it bothers me that Moses does it. I encourage people to use words in cheerful ways. And I get that not every situation is cheerful. And we buried Carol this week, and did you hear her singing over here, by the way? Do you remember what Carol sounded like when she was singing? Really high. She says Betty Boop. Really high. She had this high voice, and it was so much love in her voice when she just loved doing this. And I loved hearing her sing. I kept hearing her today in the singing. Singing is a beautiful way of expressing yourself, and words are a beautiful way of expressing yourself, and finding ways to make your words have positive impact in the world. I say this partially because we started religious school, and Barbara Joseph had a faculty meeting, and she had just come back from New Cage, which is a Jewish educators conference. It wasn't the ISJL. This is a totally different thing, but one of the things that she brought back with her is that if somebody hears a negative comment about themselves, it takes at least 10 positive comments about themselves to feel better. It's a 1 to 10, minimum 10 ratio. And I think about that a lot because sometimes kids are mean, sometimes grown-ups are mean. And do we ever get that opportunity to immediately turn around and say 10 nice things to somebody? Sometimes they're mean and they don't even realize it. But it still takes at least 10 positive things to make it, turn it around again. So I'm going to share something with you today that's not supposed to be an endorsement of a club, but I was invited, I was honored to speak today at the Optimist Club, the Shreveport Optimist Club, thanks to Kathy. And they presented me with this. I'm very proud to have this, and I'm really thrilled to have this because I love the words in this thing, and I'm always glad when I've been a few times as a guest speaker, and it's hard for me to be part of a group other than this group where I'm obligated to go someplace every week. But I want you to hear these words and tell me what you think. It says that you should promise yourself, and that already starts off in a mood, to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. I thought that was ironic because I think everybody in the group today was retired. So the work for only the best, but that's not what it means. And that's not true, but I just thought that was sweet. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. That one started not as happy as I thought it was going to start, but it ended so nicely that I was okay with the beginning. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. And as I say, I am not trying to promote the club, but the purpose of the club is to try to make the world better for the children of the world. That's what they do. They do an awful lot of work for kids. We've had a number of our children benefit from some of the work that they do. And so, but I thought those were all wonderful, positive things. And I'm happiest when Moses is telling us words like that and not when he's being cranky at us. So I hope that the experiment today inspired you a little bit to hear words in new ways. Madam Vice President. Oh, you know, we're missing. Elliot still has my microphone, which is good because I like to hear him sing, so we're good. I have this one. Boom. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you all for sharing in the blessings. Agudath Achim invites us to dinner and a movie this Sunday evening. The movie is called The People versus Fritz Bauer. It is the movie in which in German with subtitles. At 6 p.m., they will be serving appetizers, wine, and cheese. And at 6:45, a catered dinner from Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, with the movie starting at 7:30. The event is open to the entire Jewish community with a suggested donation of $5 per person. The last movie of the B'nai Zion Friday Film Fest will be A Gentleman's Agreement from 1947, starring Gregory Peck. It won many awards, including 3 Oscars. It is a powerfully told story about understanding anti-Semitism. It is not rated. It's a runtime of 118 minutes. It will be shown on August 30th, beginning after the Oneg Shabbat, which is about 7:30. Pizza and popcorn will be served. We will show the movie with English subtitles. If you already know the Hebrew alphabet and want to learn to read better, understand vocabulary and grammar, please join Rabbi Jana on Thursdays from 6 to 7:30. There is no tuition, in other words, free. There will be a textbook you can purchase. There is a discount for buying through B'nai Zion. Rabbi Jana makes learning enjoyable. The class chose to begin again. If you can read the letters of the alphabet, please join us. That covers that. Watch for the memorial book materials via email or in the mail. Mine came
Mine came
When did I
today.
tell you? Today. So I don't have to tell you to watch for it, you got it. The deadline will be September 16th, since Rosh Hashanah begins on September 29th. We are hoping to streamline most of our processes by using more people submitting their information online. Thank you for your patience, cooperation, submissions, and most importantly, donations. This Tuesday, August 27th at 11:30 at Imperial Cafe, Helene Bronig will be leading a pre-Yule luncheon. It is a time to begin the process of getting ready for the High Holy Days. Contact Helene, the rabbi, the office, or register online if you're thinking of joining the group. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in memory of Amy Marcus by Tristy Marshall.
Thank you. So, whoop, you got it?
Yeah.
A cool thing, we're trying something new. We created this form for a memorial book. It's a process. 5 minutes, within 5 minutes of sending out the email, we had 10 people click and make a donation and say what they wanted, whether it was out of the 10 people, 7 people said they wanted the same thing as last year. 1 person brand new, and the others made a change, one or many changes within 5 minutes of submitting that email. And all the payments are already done. The secretary doesn't have to touch anything. That was really cool, I have to tell you. So we really appreciate you trying that. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. You should have gotten an email today with your B'nai Zion statement. That doesn't mean, this is really important. The only emails we got back within 5 minutes of sending it were people who seemed to think that we were singling out them. Like, you haven't paid your dues, how come you didn't pay your dues? But that's not what it is. Periodically, we have to send out statements. And it was an email to anyone who still had a balance. It helped clean out. Please know that we are not trying to punish anybody. There were people on there who had paid, but it wasn't showing paid and whatever. We've cleaned up everything. It takes about 10 seconds. We really appreciate your patience where we're learning the new software, but it's been kind of glorious to be able to do that. You should be getting paper copies of that as well this week. Watch for that. And you can submit online or not, but I'm just saying, it's been so cool doing this online. We continue on page 148. Anybody who would like to come up and help me open the ark, I'm inviting anybody to come up. Watch who comes. See? Under 13. Why? Why doesn't anybody over 13 want an honor? That doesn't make any sense to me. Come on up. Everyone else is turning to page 148. And when the ark is open, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. And for all of you who wanted the Hebrew, we're going to continue on the bottom of 148. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. We continue on page 150. And we will read together under the teeny letters, "The day will come when all shall turn with trust to you, O God, hearkening to your voice, bearing witness to your truth. We pray with all our hearts, let violence be gone. Let the day come soon when evil shall give way to, when war shall be forgotten, and all at last shall live in freedom. O source of life, may we in your image embrace one another in friendship and in joy. Then shall we be one family, and then shall your sovereignty be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. And when the ark is closed, you may be seated. You are all awesome. Thank you for accepting the honor. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you. So I have been dreading this part of the service. There was a 17-year-old girl who was killed in Israel today. A guy threw a bomb out of a car. There was, Sydney tells me not to do this because it hurts, but I can't not do it for this guy. Specialist Clayton James Horn from the United States Army was 23 years old from Louisiana. He died August 17th in Saudi Arabia. Master Sergeant, we have more? Oh no. Oh no. I only knew about him when I wrote it yesterday. Master Sergeant Luis F. de Leon Figueroa was 31. Master Sergeant Jose J. Gonzalez was 35. They were killed in Afghanistan. We've lost 29 people in the military this year so far. We've lost 73 police officers. We've lost 15 canine officers and 33 firefighters. I want this world to be a better place. I appreciate those who run into dangerous situations so that we can be safe. We continue on 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And I say we look at 152, the recent grief, which is the one that I appreciate the most out of these. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but love and understanding can help us pass through the darkness toward the light. Out of affliction, the psalmist learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they're gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wished to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us this past month. We remember Carol Ginsburg. There will be a Shiva Minyan here on Sunday at 10 o'clock. We'll be during the time when we have services for the older students here. We'll have a Shiva Minyan here. We remember congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember Joe Batt. We remember Peter Haas and Lucy Branis and Isabel Posner. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we are remembering, we're observing Yortzeit this week, include Stanley Baskin, William Bronick Sr., Leon David, Benjamin Greenberg, Paul Gruber, Joe Hafter, Abraham Heyman, Zaneth Jones, Sylvia Katz, Helen Katzenstein, William R. Law, Minnie Lipschitz, August L. Loeb, Thelma Mills, Louis Selber, Ann Rosen Sussman, Norman Martin Treif, A.L. Weiner, Ethel Weiss Zielinski. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on 154 and the translations on 155. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. I'll ask who wants to do the challah. We'll see if I get a different group that comes up now. Anybody really hungry and want challah? Huh, same group? What? I'm hoping I'm going to entice somebody. Hold on to the bottom, please. Ready, get set. It's beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful. Here, wait, let's look so everybody can see. Look how pretty it is. Look at the back. Even the back is pretty. Does this remind you of all of us here together, intertwined into a beautiful challah? We are a beautiful Shabbat challah when we're here together. Let's sing. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'tei avon. I get the tray, you get the bread. I get the tray, you get the bread. I get the tray, I get the tray, I get the tray. Phew. Oh my goodness. I didn't want to give up the tray. Please rise for the closing benediction. There's more challah out there, by the way. I think. Looks like it. So when somebody offers you an opportunity to dance, you should dance. It was more fun for us. I'm just saying, if they offer you an opportunity to participate, participate. Sometimes that means being the one who says the words, and sometimes it means listening. Make sure that your words are kind. Make sure you're especially kind to yourself. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you. Be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you because God has a lot that God looks up to you about. Don't forget that. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. I believe that.